This is your Captain J-Bug speaking high above Cloud 9. You're tuned in to TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday, live on
FlightRiskRadio.com.
TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday. Welcome back. You guys are tuned in, and we're also live on FlightRiskRadio.com. Shout out to the homie Matthias for holding us down every single week. As you guys can tell, I'm getting my Ebonics back. I was at work the other day, and I said something that was completely off. I was like, yo, let me know when you want me to stop by the crib. I mean, let me know when you're available for me to stop by your house. I had to rephrase that real quick.
Really?
Yes, it's the truth, man. Because sometimes I forget I'm at work and I have to conjugate a sentence that will be understandable by everybody around me. And so that happens sometimes. Speaking of that,
the GRE word.
Let's talk about a very special guest we got in the building tonight. Mr. Infinite Skillz.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm always trying to, up my ante when it comes to that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
Well, I live in Southside St. Pete by way of Northern Virginia. Got a new album out, Late to the Party. Represent for B.A.S.E music. I like to consider myself a thinking man's MC, as we kind of talked off air. You know, I got a little English background, so I've been to school. You can tell that I've been to school when you listen to my rhymes.
Yeah. Tell us about Virginia and the trip. Like, why from Virginia way down to the south side of St. Pete in Florida?
Honestly, no good reason other than one of the guys I went to grad school with. He has family down here. He knew I wanted to work in TV production, and he moved back here after school and was like, man, you should come down. You should come down. You should come down. And I did, because I wasn't really doing anything worthwhile up there. And, 10 years later,
You're still here.
running the city.
Still here. All right. So you got your manager by your side tonight.
True.
Very good friend of mine, a co-patron with the radio station on the weekends. What's happening with you, B?
What's going on?
Good.
Yeah, man.
How you doing tonight?
I'm
Straight?
all right. Yeah, thanks for having us.
My apologies, number one, for making y'all wait. You know what I'm saying? I understand you guys are here early, and the other guys, they're black. They decided to be here late. And the worst part about it all was that he texted me at a little earlier. I think he was supposed to be here at a certain time. I think he texted me like 30 minutes before he was supposed to be here and told me he was going to be late. He said he's going to run a little late. Then he ended up being 40 minutes, 30 minutes late, something like that.
Little means different things to different people. But,
Yeah, it does.
So we're going 50-50,
Yeah.
Some black people are late. Some black people are early. So, I'm representing for the culture.
I represent for the late.
Because he has a white manager.
Yeah, right. I mean, my album is called Late to the Party, but one of the first things they taught us in school was to be on time is to be late, and to be late is not acceptable. So I try to be on time as often as I can.
Damn it. We can't stick with that, man.
Work ethic.
I ain't with all that, man. I mean, that's the Army shit, man.
Hey,
That's
well,
what the Army be telling you.
that's Morehouse.
To be on time, to be
wow.
on time is to be late. And to be late is to be
It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, they got you right there for the very beginning.
Oh, that's first week. That's first week.
That was the first week of school?
First week,
That's
freshman
dope.
orientation.
That's dope, man.
Oh, shit.
So tell us about the Infinite Skillz that came from moving to Virginia, that came to Florida 10 years ago by way of Southside St. Pete. And tell us about the production and how your production and everything, and what has gotten you into the game of rapping.
Well, that's from the production side. It's pretty unique, I think. My producer for this album and my main producer is actually a German citizen, a German native. He lives in Germany. Goes by the name of Mr. J. And we just kind of found each other through the internet. He liked my stuff. We had a couple conversations, found out, our heads were kind of in the same place, and we decided to do some records, and it really worked out. And, we're now, probably 80, 90 songs deep at this point.
Dope.
Wow.
So, we
80,
just
90 songs?
I mean, we put in a lot of work. That's one of the things I'm known for, is that work ethic, like he said. So, a couple years ago, I got the award from Creative Loafing for, Tampa Bay's hardest working man in hip hop. So, just been trying to live up to that and make sure that, I'm not slacking, because we have lots and lots of goals. And so I hooked up with Mr. J, and we've just been going crazy. This is actually our third full-length project that he's produced in its entirety. And, I grew up on the East Coast, but I'm a military brat, so, some of that builds into,
I think you're starting to hear that now.
kind of what I what I do. So, Pops was a sergeant first class, so he didn't really abide by a whole lot of nonsense. But we get into some trouble too. But just been putting in work and trying to get our foothold in this particular city, because this is the first place as an adult that's felt like home. And, if you know anything about military brat, you move around a lot of different places. You're always you're always a new kid. You're always making new friends. And so I've been here enough. This is the first place I've ever owned property. So St. Pete is definitely home, even though I didn't go to high school here and I wasn't born here.
Yeah, I mean, any place you lay your hat down is supposed to be called home. You know
True.
what I'm saying? So, tell me about the movement. How did you cope with moving from city to city at a young age? And did you know at that particular time, at that young age, that you wanted to cultivate lyrics and put them together with beats and just come out with these dope ass tracks?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I was not thinking about music at all when I was in school. Like, I played a lot of sports. I played basketball, I played football. I was good at football, but I love basketball. So most of my time outside of the classroom was spent at practice or working on my game somehow. But as we talked before, I'm pretty good with words, and I was writing poetry, and I just kind of made that natural jump from poetry to writing songs, and everything's been working. It's been working.
Been working since then.
Kind of always been a class clown a little bit. Never been shy, or haven't been shy in a long time. Which you can't really do if you're always a new kid, because if you can't approach people or you can't learn to interact with people, you're going to be really lonely. So I guess at a young age cultivated that skill, and that's helped me be able to relate to a lot of different fans and connect on multiple levels.
Target demographic when it comes to when it comes to your music. Who are you really trying
anybody
to reach out
with
to?
the brain. Anybody with the brain. Like, I'm not dissing anybody that does something different, but you're not gonna like me if turn up is your every other word or every other phrase. But I really don't have any specific parameters on who I'm speaking to. This particular album, you could say that I'm kind of, it's a very self-aware album. I'm kind of talking to people who can share in my background, maybe that were pigeonholed in a certain area, maybe, brothers who achieved in the classroom and didn't have a problem or with thinking that, that made them quote unquote white or not black if you got good grades.
Yeah.
I dealt with a lot of that. And so this album is a little bit, kind of a backlash against that. There's a track called Black Bourbon where I'm talking about, basically a black kid from the suburbs, and just letting people know that, there's a lot of hip hop where they talk about, rags to riches stories and, you're from the hood and, started from the bottom, now you're here or whatever. Well, that's not necessarily my background and not my story. And I felt like there's nobody in hip hop really talking to all those kids out there that aren't that stereotypical black dude. And so I reach out to them a little bit with this project.
Yeah, I think interesting enough, even if you think about Macklemore, he had his track where he talked about his J's and everything and how he got his J's stolen. Even he never talked about coming from poverty and going into something, going into the next direction. Even he didn't talk about, hey, I grew up with a mom and dad or something like that, and I'm still alive and I'm having a great life, but here is my next single that you guys should check out. You know what I'm saying? Macklemore, even being, an independent artist like that who is so big now, that was never his main goal. That was never his main message when he first came out. And it's still not his message. His message is to challenge the laws that we have in America, unite everybody that we have, and use that as a way to throw himself into stardom.
And, that's cool. But for me, like I said, there just wasn't a whole lot of role models that I felt like were speaking to my existence. And so, just business 101, if there's a need out there in the marketplace or a gap that hasn't been filled, fill it. And so that's, that's not necessarily, the business aspect is not necessarily why I started writing. Music is a catharsis for me. So I wanted to get that out and be heard. I'm a middle child, so, I'm always trying to fight to be heard.
Yeah.
And so that there's an extension of that too. So it was important for me, for other people to know that there are many different kinds of black men, and there are many different kinds of black people. Not just men, because I went to Morehouse. There's a school of women, black women, who are similar to the population that's at Morehouse. They're all black women, or mostly black women. So, and there's a lot of kids that go to HBCUs and that are trying to achieve academically, or get jobs in corporate America or whatever, that are not just the whole, either you have a wicked jump shot or you're slinging crack rock or whatever. Like, that was not, my parents were in the home. I'm proud of that. I'm happy that they made that sacrifice to try to mold me and not have whatever outside forces mold me. So, I'm not at all apologetic that my father, I have a good relationship with my father. I'm not at all apologetic that I have a good relationship with my mother. I think that's dope. And I think that there's room for that in hip hop too.
Yeah, there definitely is room in hip hop for that. When you put your music out and you get feedback from people, what are some of the more inspiring words that people are saying to you about your music and how it touches them?
Well, there's a song on my first album called Struggle, and it's kind of like my life story. I talk about my parents, how they met in high school, and they kind of both went off to college, and then vacation break got back together, and they're really happy to see each other. And one thing happens, and next thing you know, these two college kids are both dropping out and starting a family because they were doing what they had to do in order to own up to their responsibilities. And so I talk about how proud and appreciative I am of that. And when you get together that young, sometimes things don't work out, and they're divorced now. And so I talk about kind of how that affected me, and how I would not let that affect my long-term goals, even though it was very tumultuous, to go through that when I went to it. So that song has touched a lot of people. There's been quite a few people that have found me through Pandora from listening to that song and have become fans off of that. And it was kind of shocking to me because that's just a song that I threw on the album for myself. Like, it's one of the ones, like, I don't care if anybody else doesn't like it. I want that part of my story out there, and I just put it on there because I could. I'm an independent artist. I do what I want. So, but like, people really, really reached out and felt that song. So it was very surprising to me. And then, just with this album, there's been a number of people who say they know other kids who feel like I felt, and they're happy to hear that. And it's not overly preachy or anything like that. So that it's cool that they can hear some music that they could bump in the truck, but also is not, eroding their brain. And I don't, I'm not one of the guys that thinks that it's an artist's job to raise kids or anything like that. Like, make music, give the people what they want, get money. But, I can't.
That was a song right there.
But I can't do
right?
I can't know what I know and do what Waka Flocka does. So, it's different. And I'm not dissing Waka Flocka. I'm just saying.
But what's interesting is that sometimes for people, I was saying this earlier, people find they go with the flow of the times. You know what I'm saying? They jump into that pattern, that what's hot right now,
the trend.
and that trend, and they continue to go with that. And to say that maybe Waka Flocka, and I'm not saying that I'm not trying to justify for what Waka Flocka does. You know what I'm saying? A lot of screaming going on in those songs. I didn't like it at first because I didn't understand what the hell he was saying, and it took some time. But at the same time, a lot of people every single day, like lawyers, they jump into the game, right? They jump into the game, realize they're defending these guys that have done wrong in life, and it's either the livelihood of my family or me quitting and doing something else that I've spent all this money on for all my life to get into. And so I think a lot of times when it comes to artists, they kind of like, they find a niche and say, hey, I think a lot of people are afraid to say, I can actually conjugate this. We can work together. I'm a very intelligent individual, but I think they're afraid of doing that because of what you said earlier. You know what I'm saying? You made good grades in Virginia. People picked on you about that.
Yeah.
I made good grades here in Florida. Nobody said anything to me about that.
Nerd.
Because that's just not what the trend is. Everybody's from the street,
selling
drugs,
I was
all
from
this
the
shit.
streets.
But that's dope. I mean, there's a song on this album called White Boy. And it's probably the closest to Struggle as far as emotional level. And like Struggle, I couldn't even perform that song probably first 4 years after that album. Like it, like I would literally like tear up whenever I would talk about it because it just.
The climax to your show.
Well, not. I like to end. I like to end on a high note, like a happy note. So I can't do that song as the final joint. But I've done it. It's just
Yeah, Anytime you make anybody leave your show and everybody's outside crying with roses in their hand, we have an issue. I'm just saying right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's like walking outside, wiping the mascara off of there. Oh my God, it was such a sad show. That's
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean,
But,
people are, people get babysitters and they want to go out and have a good time. So you can't have them, pulling out the tissues.
Look at that. He's
and
even
everything.
thoughtful of people getting the babysitters
Oh man,
and everything.
hey, shout out to the single moms. Shout out to the single moms and the single dads. That's I'm grown, and a lot of my fans are grown. I got some younger fans too, but a lot of them are grown, so they got responsibilities, and I'm not trying to waste their time when they come out to see me perform. So we sweat. Sometimes we cry, but we have a good time too. So it's really important to me, and it was really important to me, and I've let that seep into my writing process to write songs that I can perform live and that will hit home live. Because I've worked with a lot of people in the past that were dope in the studio, but terrible on stage, and I can't be that guy.
Talk about the stage part of it all. Like I've talked to artists before, and I've asked them some questions like, "How do you prepare for the stage?" And they told me I don't do nothing, man. I go on stage and do me. I turn up. I get I take care of business. I like there is so you're telling me there's no process to preparing yourself for a show. Like there's no rigorous training that you do in order to be better. So explain to me the process for you when it comes to ripping the stage.
That's crazy what I just heard. If people are still doing that, I mean, Kobe Bryant goes to practice. Michael Jordan went to practice, and those guys are supremely talented. One of my big influences, probably my biggest influence musically, but after KRS-One, is a rapper from Richmond by the name of Skillz, and he talks about practice. And, he kind of made jokes out of it, and he used the Allen Iverson, famous press conference. We're like, we talk about practice, not the game. But it's really important for me. Like I said, I don't want to waste your time. If you pay to see me perform, you put that $10 down, that $25 down, whatever it may be. It's important for me to know my lyrics, know what songs I'm going to do next, look like I've actually performed this song live before. Like, it's not practice for me at a show. Some people, do the open mic thing and, they find their chops that way, and that's fine if that's what you're using those open mics for. But if I leave the house, I'm trying to rip every time out. And so like it's really important to me. I practice all the way to, how to hold the mic, to make sure that I'm not muffling the words, because vocal clarity is one of the hallmarks of my live shows. A lot of people, sound man included, have come up to me a lot of times talking about like, man, your show was really dope. I could understand you. I appreciate it. And so, I try to be personable, but I also try to make sure that people can actually hear me and understand what I'm saying, because I feel like I am saying something. So,
speaking of saying something, tell me about the latest album and the thought process that went behind it.
I'm really proud of it, man. It's from the lyrics to the packaging to everything. This is by far my best project so far. It's 18 tracks, so that kind of helps me get to that 90 or so songs that we have together. My first album had 19 tracks. This has 18. I don't think I've released anything other than my Swoon Music EP that had less than 12. But it's a lot of me on there, and I pride myself a little bit on. Sometimes people will hear my record, and people that I hang out with on a weekly basis, and they find out stuff from listening to my music that they don't find out, just hanging out with me at the bar or whatever. Because that mic is a beast in the studio, man. That's my confidant. So
definitely, it has to be. So to hear you pouring your soul out onto your records and everything. How are you portraying yourself in the streets? Like, how are you getting your notice out in the streets? How are you making yourself aware? Like, how are people understanding who you are, Infinite Skillz? Are you saturating the market? Are you undersaturating the market? What's happening there?
As far as performances, I try not to oversaturate. I try to keep my live shows to about once a month, just because I don't want people to take me for granted. Like, if they get an opportunity to see me perform, I want it to be special. So I try to do about one of those a month. I have been hosting some pool parties at this Taps and Tequila downtown, but that's with B.A.S.E, but that's more as a host. I'm not necessarily performing there. But as far as who Infinite Skillz is, I'm very approachable, but I'm about business. I'm trying to work. I have the song with the Rays. And you can't do deals with, corporations of that size if you don't have, a decent head on your shoulders and, like you said, know how to talk to people. But I'm not so in the clouds that, I can't, chill at Foo Bar or somewhere downtown on the 600 block, St. Pete, and feel comfortable. So people know that I'm not with a whole lot of foolishness. They know I'm nonviolent, but I'm not really a target. Like I said, I live in Southside St. Pete, and I understand all of that means. But first night moving into that neighborhood, they had the welcoming committee come out, to check me out, talk to me, see where my head was, and you kind of know from hopping the neighborhood, what's going on, like going back to that military brat. So I understood what he was doing, and you want to make sure that they know that you're not going to cause any problems, but you're not a punk. And so I just
walked
that
outside like, yo, I see pride, I see power, I see a badass mother that don't take shit from nobody.
Oh my God.
Leave me alone. Leave my front step right now.
But he's in his underwear doing it.
Whitey tighties.
And a silk robe on top of that.
Yeah, and a robe.
But I'm a goofy dude. Like, I'm serious about hip hop and I'm serious about my goals. But at the end of the day, I'm a goofy dude. My wife will tell you, I'm always messing around trying to tickle her and stuff like that. So people get that vibe.
Coochie, coochie, coo.
She's adorable.
Someone you could have a beer with or a few.
Yeah.
And just have a good time.
That's
dope.
what's up.
So tell me about the Rays real quick, man. Tell me about the contract you guys got going on with the Rays right now, with the music and everything.
We won't talk contracts
we
necessarily.
won't talk contract. We'll talk music though.
I did a song called "Raise Up" before the 2012 season, and some of my people talked to some of their people and ran the song up the chain. Like, I just did the song because we were hosting parties, like Rays post-game and pre-game parties. And one of the guys I was working with was like, man, we should do a song for the team or, about the team. And I was like, that's not a bad idea because, I'm a fan and I rap. So I was just bringing two of the things that I like together. And so I wrote the song Raise Up, and it came out hot. The team liked it, and they started using it in the stadium. We shot a video for them, and they put the video on the Jumbotron, and they ran with that for 2 seasons. And so that's been good business. It's been good business. Brought a lot of people who didn't know who I was.
Damn, so you've been exposed to all them
Well, yeah,
people.
I mean, people will front on the Rays for, their attendance or whatever, but like on a bad night, they're still getting 10,000 people.
Right.
And as a businessman, like, for me to pay to get 10,000 people to hear my stuff or hear any one of my songs on a multiple times a week basis, I don't have that in my budget. So that was a win for me right then and there. And, off of that, we've done a few more shows. We got the Best of the Bay Award in 2013. And so it's been good for business.
Really?
So, yeah, it's been really good for business. We started kind of at the same time we started a movement, A to Bay, which is Atlanta to Tampa Bay, where I've kind of linked up with a lot of artists.
Heard about that.
I've linked up with
That's
a lot
you?
of artists. Yeah, that's me. That's
shit.
my brainchild.
Okay.
But before A to Bay was homegrown. And that's what I do for the Tampa Bay area only. Basically, when I got here, there wasn't a whole lot of legitimate hip hop shows in downtown St. Pete outside of national out of national events coming through. Like, you had people who could open up when Janice Live or State Theater was doing a show, but like there was really nowhere on a regular basis you could see good hip hop music. And so you could see open mics and you could see whoever wanted to hop on the mic, try to freestyle, but like for people who cared about their music, there wasn't a whole lot of that going on. So I started Homegrown Hip Hop, partially as an outlet for myself, but also to show these venues and these owners and promoters that we could do hip hop events and not have violence and have a good time and everyone make money. Artists make money, venue makes money, promoter makes money. So my motto is good business, good people, good music, and so I put that into work for Homegrown, and the next one of those is coming up June 14th. So
that's right.
Dope.
Our 6th one, no violence ever. Great time, sell out every time, so get your tickets.
True indeed.
Gotta get some
See,
street
I'm
cred
liking
though. Somebody
that.
gotta get shot soon, man.
No.
Nah. See that's what's wrong with y'all.
Sorry,
That's not hip hop.
No, no. That was a little ratchet that just came out. That was not J Bugs.
No, I was just
He's a little ratchet.
He's going like old school KRS BDP, and I'm like new school KRS, like stop the violence, self destruction.
No.
So
put a little ratchet away right now.
Little Ratchet's gone. He's
No.
gone. Yeah.
No
no,
violence.
and honestly, people don't even try me like that. Like they understand. Like I'm not a bully or anything.
I
like
want
that,
to try you either, nigga. You big as
but-
fuck.
but, like,
I
you know,
seen him. I was like, whoa.
They understand. Like I'm not. I think a lot of times when you have violence at your events, the host and the promoter can do a lot just based off decorum. And if you carry yourself with respect and you respect the people that are in front of you,
You're right.
They learn that they need to step up. And I got friends who they'll drop N-bombs like every other word. When they come around me, they know I'm not down with that, and so they'll tighten up.
They
And
adjust
so
themselves.
it's like you adjust because you need to. Otherwise, I mean, like I don't threaten anybody. You won't be in my circle if that's what you do, and I don't like it. If we can't come to some kind of consensus, then I have to remove you from my circle. Because one of the other things I learned at the house was your group of friends will that more than anything else will determine your level of success. And so if you're around people who are not about winning, then you're not going to win. And
Yeah,
so
definitely. I feel you.
I'm trying to
I
win.
feel you.
I co-sign that.
The homegrown is dope, bro. It's kind of like the same page that we're kind of on right now. By creating a particular group of individuals from the same city to extend the talents and create and go out and enjoy South by Southwest next year.
Sign me up.
So that's what we're doing.
It's one of my goals to get him on.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
That's
You
what we're
better
doing
jump
next year.
on,
We're
'cause
jumping on South by
we
Southwest
already-
next year.
I'll
Yeah.
drive.
It's called J Bugs The
Texas.
Weekend Guy Show.
Okay.
Booyah!
Okay, can you just tell people where you got the weekend guy from
No, I'm
so I
not
can
going
get some
to.
credit?
No, you
Is
don't
it
get
from you?
credit.
Yes,
No,
it is
no,
from me.
It is not from her. It's from her.
Excuse me?
It's
No
from her
credit.
trying to hurt my feelings, so I took a negative and made it a positive.
I love that. I love that. That's very homegrown. That's very homegrown. Because they try to say we couldn't do it.
Booyah!
Give me credit. That was me.
You can't get credit for being mean.
She's saying she's your Leroy Jenkins. She's
Like,
she's
do you think
motivating you.
You think black people go around and give white people credit all the time, but you call them the N word all the time?
Oh, wait.
No, they don't go around. Hey, thank you, white guy. I appreciate that. You know?
You made me overcome, and I overcame.
And I did it. Thank you. Thumbs up.
No, I
man.
helped you turn a negative to a positive. And now look.
And it was a damn good negative too. Let me
Hey.
tell you,
Hey,
that
man.
photo was negative, and I put it on some print, and
Yeah.
now it's positive.
And now look.
And it's a dope photo.
Now he's
That's what's
branding
well,
it.
I got skills on the camera too. So if it is a show, I'm multi-talented like that.
yeah,
so.
dope.
You can't
Dope.
take people on the road who can only do one thing.
We got. Well, we know. You know what? You're right. You can't take people on the road that can only do one thing. So I got a chef. I got a DJ.
That's what's up.
I have got a cameraman also.
True.
Also a dope lyricist. We also got. I got my other team too.
Backup host
Flip
if you get
TV.
laryngitis all of a sudden,
You know what I'm saying? Backup host if I get laryngitis. And,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's the team, man. We're building it. We're slowly but surely we're building it. So by the time next year South by Southwest come around, we're going to be there a week long, even if we got to rent an RV for a week.
Hey, my pops
I'm
lives
with
in
it.
Austin, outside of Austin actually.
See that?
Las
Word.
Salinas.
There we go.
God works in mysterious ways, my
Yeah.
brother. Works in so
What
many.
part of VA are you from?
I went to high school in Woodbridge. It's about 30 minutes south of D.C.
Really?
It's Prince William County. Shout out to the Heather Glenn clique.
I got my homeboy from Reston.
Okay, I know Reston. That's Fairfax County. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
too
they
far.
got Black Box Entertainment out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaven. Plex Long.
we played them in
Salute.
football a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grant Hill went to South Lakes out that way, and he's older than me, but like I remember from my older brother, him talking about them coming through and like catching oops all over the gym on him. So, it was a mess.
It was ugly.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Before you take off, can you give everybody your social information, bro?
Infinite Skillz. That's INFINITESKILLZ. That's whether that's Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Instagram is at Infinite Skillz. Twitter is at Infinite Skillz. Facebook is facebook.com/Infinite Skillz Music. YouTube /Infinite Skillz.
You
It's all out
got
there. I got a website, infiniteskillz.com.
people can purchase merchandise off there and everything.
You can get everything from the T-shirt that I'm wearing to the headband that I'm wearing to the album that we were talking about to tickets to Homegrown. It's all available at infiniteskillz.com.
That's
Damn,
dope.
I'm liking
Everything
that
in one
shit. He got
place.
everything established. Everything
man,
is
you
Get
running.
this shirt too.
Business.
Man.
All right, shout out to the manager too. I'm telling you.
If you want that shirt, we can take it off of him and just give it to you. Hey,
We're gonna start the
The
bidding.
white man giving back.
Hey, whatever I can do to help. Reparations.
I think
Wait a
we-
minute, before you leave, I want to know what's next. What do you
What's
you got
next?
cooking in your pot right
well,
now?
after Homegrown, a week after that, I'm going to Atlanta. We have the
A-Town.
the sixth version, the sixth iteration of A to Bay, which will be half artists from this region and half artists from that city, because it's a pipeline between those two. I mean, it's
Yeah, gotcha.
They're just up 75, so and Atlanta's hot right now as far as
I created
hip
a
hop
pipeline
goes. So
too
okay,
on a website.
all right.
Yeah,
Well,
because I've been networking hard in Atlanta, but I'm
we need
here,
to
so
talk then. We need to talk.
I'm interested. I'm very interested.
Okay, A to
Very
Bay is
interested.
taking sponsors, and we can kind of co-sponsor something too. We
Okay.
can talk offline.
I'll bet.
Yeah,
Yes.
but so I'm doing that, and then we got an event in Tampa, August 16th. That'll be my next two things. But really pushing the album. We got the video for the single, Everything, coming out in about 2 weeks. Putting the finishing touches on that. So I'm excited. And just trying to promo the album and make that work more, because we recouped on the first day. So
Got you.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
dope. That's
real
dope.
business, man.
He
I'm
is.
liking
He
this
is.
shit.
He is. He
Y'all
is. He is.
motherfuckers better take note. For real.
I try not to flex too much, but I just want
Hey,
to throw
you
that
gotta
in there,
flex though, because a
Yeah.
lot of these artists out here are just missing so much. Like, they get in the booth and they do this music, but they don't take the time out to understand the business side of things.
That's-
You know what I mean?
that's
And
our
they don't have
purpose.
everything
That's why we're here.
established and
Well,
stuff.
the internet
so
makes people lazy. So
you're right, because it's so accessible now. You don't have to do the footwork as much
Oh, you do.
as before. Well, you still do, but everything is on computer now.
You're
You
supposed
know what I'm
to still
saying?
do the footwork, but they don't. They think they can just make a song
Yep.
in their bedroom and
Exactly.
then throw it out on SoundCloud and everything's cool.
You know what?
Exactly.
Interested
That's
enough to find
what
out
I'm
that
saying.
I get artists hit me up all the time. We talk about music,
Mhm.
and somebody today was asking me about some stuff, and I was like, bro, I'm not gonna do nothing with your music that you're not gonna do. Get up, go do something with it. Go take care of that now.
They try to find
I gave
an
him
easy way
information
out.
on how to get it taken care of. Dude told me, man, I'm too busy to do that. I said, well, you too busy to be big then. Stay you.
Exactly. Thank
Stay
you.
cuz. Stay
Thank
you.
you.
That's
Just
crazy.
continue to give the guy on down the street from you your money to produce your music, and don't do anything with it.
Well, I want the
Continue to pay
advice.
his
I want to
bill.
know the advice, whatever that was that you told him, because I'll make it work. So you tell me what you
No,
told him.
I mean it's the same thing I tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to get their music out there. The number one thing is I always tell people, if you think your track is hot, take it to the club, talk to the DJ. People don't realize this, but the DJ is gonna play your music. He ain't gonna play it for free, but he gonna play your music. Give the DJ your music. Give him some money. Stand there. Don't leave. Wait till he plays it. He's gonna play your song with a song that's hot right now, with a song that actually works inside the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your track at the same time. As soon as your track comes on after that other track, and see what you're missing.
Yeah.
And when you find out what you're missing, go back again and continue to do it until you get that missing piece. And once you find that missing piece, guess what? All that money you paid is gonna come right back to you, because guess what? They're gonna start asking you for your music now.
Yeah.
That's very simple.
and that transfers into show money, and
It's
And
all
that's the
about
purpose.
It's all about
Show money.
relationships. Build a relationship. Understand what's going on in the game. Don't go out there and tell me that you can't do so and so because you're busy for so and so. Then don't text me and tell me you need help with something. Then just leave me out of the question. I'm done.
I guess they think it's like 30 years ago. You could just there's gatekeepers and talent buyers or whatever, and you could just be nice, and they'll have a team and a machine behind you. Like
They think that's me.
Yeah.
That's not I. We support you, but our main mission of the show is support those who want to support themselves.
Well, I appreciate the support and the avenue and the opportunity. So
Yeah, we appreciate you stopping by though. We appreciate you also being kind. When our other interview ran over a little bit, so
Yep.
we appreciate that.
no
too.
problem at all, man.
But you
Major
could've-
salute to you.
You know what I'm saying? You could have played Duck Hunt with us, and
Nah,
you didn't.
man,
So
it's
we
your
appreciate-
show. You do it. I tell people all the time, if it's mine, I'm gonna do what I want. So it's your show. You do what you want. I'll make it work.
I appreciate it, my brother. Let's go ahead and introduce your single, your track, whichever one you want to do, bro. We playing anything off your list, man.
It is the second track on the album. The song is called Everything. That is a single that we're pushing right now. If you've heard us talking at all and you listen to this song, you'll understand the passion that I have for what I do.
All right, my man, Infinite Skillz. We appreciate you so much, bro. Until next time, keep up the hard work, keep up the hustle and the struggle, and do you, man. We're on your side. Here.
Appreciate it.
All right, we out. Y'all hold on. This is a brand new music from the homie Infinite Skillz.
Dragon says be patient, but I don't like waiting. If I don't blow soon, wifey gon' be debating. Don't do it. Should she stay or should she go? I hate to see her leave, but it's on with the show. What we have is real, but if the wind blows, the one thing that's infinite is my flow. You can't divorce that, never had to force that. Got the city riding with me like my tracks on horseback. Whoa. But one town, that ain't gon' cut it. To really make noise, I need about 100. The experts say that takes a lot of funnin'. So I told Jay, let's get to running. Keep throwing tracks at me to the game and slap happy. Mayweather with the mic, vocals been a tad jabby. Target is the faces of everyone who laughed at me. It's ain't Hogwarts, but musically we have magic. I put that on my name. I will always be true to the game. I put that on everything, 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 everything. I put that on my mama. I put that on my wife. I put that on my firstborn baby in my life. I put that on everything, 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 everything. Voted the best local, my aim's been higher. Love my city, but I'd rather have an empire. We're on that highway, what we doing? Road tripping, like them frat boys, but the goal is different. You can be certain I am on my Tyler Durden, trying to get this dream working till my present seems perfect. Yes, sir. I want it flawless when I wake. God made me in his image, so that's all I'm gonna take. I'm out here, homie, without fear on me. If promoting means I'm thirsty, you can doubt spear on me. Bottoms up. Go ahead, spill the whole keg. Waterboard if you want, bet I won't beg. Yagi on my back, one-on-ones on my feet. Everything coming to me, except for defeat. So as I sever this beat, while spitting effortlessly, I take you out of this world, call it my clever retreat. I put that on my family, I put that on my name. I will always be true to the game. I put that on everything, 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 everything. I put that on my mama, I put that on my wife. I put that on my firstborn baby in my life. I put that on everything, 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 everything. We got our wings out, the team's coming up. I never worry about who's running up, or have I done enough? Cause if the sun is up, I make noise. Me and my boys run them up, running through towns like a handful of twisters. For each mile I want a fan with a fist up. Plans to resist us, fail miserably. We don't make movies, we make history. And literally, it's being written right now. Got love for Virginia, but I'm glad I left town. Went from living with my mom like a peasant in the basement to being in charge as the president of B.A.S.E. Look, bruh, I'm always on my job, like these MPs at an overseas fob. That slack is for the mother guys. I'm infinite, I work till I'm immortalized. I put that on my name. I will always be true to the game. I put that on everything, 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 everything. I put that on my mama, I put that on my wife. I put that on my firstborn baby in my life. I put that on everything, 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 everything. I put that on my family, I put that on my name. I will always be true to the game. I put that on everything, 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 everything. I put that on my mama, I put that on my wife. I put that on my firstborn baby in my life. I put that on everything, 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 everything.
TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday. What's up? It is J-Bugs, and we are back, and we're live on FlightRiskRadio.com.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie Infinite Skillz, who just stopped by, dropped off some of his music.